Historians will probably look back and say World War III started in February of last year. We're probably already in it. The question is, when are we going to get drug into it in a major way right here in the United States of America? We seem to be creeping closer and closer and closer to it. Sergey Shoigu just basically threatened that if Ukraine follows through with the plans that they hear they're going to use HIMARS and other long-range weapons supplied by NATO in the United States to the Shadow cruise missiles to attack Crimea, that they will retaliate, against the decision-making centers in Ukraine, and they've made it sound like they're also going to attack the United States, perhaps in some fashion. There would be some blowback on us. What would that be? How would it take place? They consider that to be a major escalation. I have long said that Russia would actually use nukes, in my humble opinion, to defend Crimea. And I've gone into that in great detail in the past. I'm not going to beat that horse anymore tonight, but we can talk about it in the future. Friends, we are in serious tensions there. Also, we're sending new fighter jets to Syria because we have forces in Syria that are being buzzed real hard by Russian fighters. And our guys there feel like they need more defense from that. So we could even get into it directly with Russia and Syria, because that's one place that our forces and their forces are in the same area in close proximity, and they're not having happy relations there. And why are we in Syria anyway? Holy guacamole. I think we need to get out of there. So there's just too many questions aboard. There's this whole thing going on with Taiwan and China. And I'm really thinking that we're being set up, in a sense, maybe being set up for a great fall. Maybe that's what some higher elites would like to see. I'll talk more about that in the future. MD Creekmore mentioned that today on his channel. Check him out. And I'm also, in this video, I'm going to show y'all some of the goodies I got from Canadian Prepper. So hang on for that. He's a great guy. I really appreciated being on his channel for that interview. You should check out the interview he did with me on Canadian Prepper, because his Tommy camera crew is excellent with editing videos. I wish I could borrow one of those guys. In any event, they did a great job on it. So check that interview out. And by the way, also, we're going to look at this news. We're going to look at this stuff going on. So I might as well give it one caveat, guys, is my internet is extremely unstable right now. I've been dropping out a lot. I have a hard time filming just a regular video using this Zoom app right now because it goes through the internet. But I want to update my chat room right here just in case I drop out, because that's going through AT&T and this is going through MediaCom. So I got two different sources here. Unfortunately, the camera on that laptop is not worth a hoot. So we got 70 in the room right now. Good to see that. Alrighty, guys, I'll chat with y'all in a little bit. Let's go through the news first. So I'm going to do the share screen. Hopefully I can get through this before I get knocked out. And I tell you, if all this nuclear war news hasn't got you worried, I say get your immune system up. Let me stop the share just a second. You can go to C60, shopc60.com, and put in the code Greg10. You get 10% off. I don't get any cash back from those guys, but they do keep me supplied in C60, which that's as good enough for me, guys. So check it out, shopc60.com, and use the code Greg10, because I feel like this made me feel a lot better. Yeah, they got these gummies. For one thing, they got, if you check it out, these are tart cherry, and they really are tart. And they've also got a lot of other products there, such as the this is the one, coconut oil, olive oil, and I got this cinnamon. I said the way the minions said, cinnamon. Anyway, you got to check this stuff out, guys, because this stuff can neutralize up to 8 free radicals per C60 molecule. Tart. Let's go back to the news. In shopc60.com. All right, guys. Wow. And here it is on Reuters. This is what Shoigu was saying. Great quote from him. The use of these missiles outside the zone of our special military operation. And they don't consider Crimea to be their special military operation, has already had it. He's talking about Crimea. But mean the United States and Britain would be fully dragged into the conflict. And would entail immediate strikes on decision-making centers in Ukraine. So that's a little bit of a confusing statement there. We'll be drawn immediately into the fully into the conflict, but he's going to strike Ukraine. So there's a veiled message in that, because you don't fully drag us into the conflict and just only strike Ukraine. So what's he really saying here? Hey, we got Denmark in the house. All right, very good. Al Gore's here. Oh yeah, guys. Speaking about Al Gore here, you realize today's Doomsday. Happy Doomsday, folks. At least, well, yesterday was Doomsday. It's the 22nd already. It's now we're in the wee hours of the morning here. According to Greta told us that 5 years ago, on the 21st of June in 2018, 5 years ago, she said, if we don't stop using fossil fuels, we'll all be dead. Everyone will be dead in 5 years. So happy Doomsday. Hey, Big Worm, how you doing? All right, so there you go. That's the great esteemed scientist Greta. All right, guys, let's move on. Even Biden seems to recognize this, that Putin's tactical new war threat is real. Then why are you pushing and poking a bear? Geez, if you acknowledge it and you believe it's real, why are you poking a bear? I don't know, guys. But then again, this is never mind. God save the Queen, right? We're going to return to him in a little bit. Oh my gosh. And here's an article asking, are nuclear weapons the next red line that NATO will cross in Ukraine? You know, Ukraine would like to have a few. The Arctic will be ice-free next year, Greg. Okay, Al Gore. All righty, we have Al Gore in the house. All righty, guys. So Putin talks while Ukraine makes gains, or talks tough. But see, you know, what's it saying here? Again, it's going back to the nuclear. You know, Ukraine's counteroffensive is on the move, but not in a great amount. You know, they took, what, 38 square miles? Yeah, that's not a ginormous bragging right. Hey, CM3, thank you for the super chat. Love is always the answer. You are right. If we had more of that, we wouldn't have this crazy war, which we don't need. And we'll talk. That's how I end my videos, guys. If you haven't watched my videos in New Orleans, oh, we got hurricanes to look for. Yeah, you do. Hope they don't hit you directly. Anyway, so this is what they're saying, that hey, Putin has the nuclear weapons and they're on the move too. So that's what we're talking about, guys. The tensions are ratcheting up. I'm not going to read all these articles. I'm just going to show you what they are. Russia's kamikaze tank carrying 6 tons of TNT blows up an epic fireball. All right, Vladimir, come on. You're using a whole tank for a kamikaze weapon. Why don't you just put it in a darn truck and drive it? You know, I think a tank is a kind of an expensive thing to go boom with. Norway's in the house. Very good. Glad to see you here. All righty. And Witchy Girl 51. All right, well, we'll go to the chat room here in a minute. Let's get through the news first. Ukraine's counteroffensive retakes this village in southern Zaporizhia area. Well, that's a beautiful village, right? It's been totally devastated, and that's the way all this area is. But they're getting some stuff in Zaporizhia. So maybe they'll get where they can get to that plant and keep it cool. Well, they'll be able to make it there. Oh, shoot, what happened? Oh, yeah. This article's coming out. Ukraine, both Russia and Ukraine are taking heavy casualties. 1,000 people a day, guys. 1,000 people a day, and they're making just a little bit of scraps of gain for scraps of land. And see, the thing is, Ukraine don't have the deep reserves of population to draw from. That's why I say time is not on their side. If Ukraine is going to win, they need to make this counteroffensive count in a big way. And so far, it's not counting in a big way just yet. Now, they keep saying they're about to make a really big push. But I don't know, guys. I'm not taking sides on this. I'm just telling you that if they're to win, that's what they got to do. But time is on Russia's side, because Russia's got more people, got more factories, deeper pockets, except for they don't have the pockets of NATO, but they do have China behind them. So, and Iran. All righty, guys. It's not funny. Anyway, guys. Armed forces Ukraine continue moving forward on the flanks in Bakhmut direction. So, you know, Bakhmut got taken by Prigozhin with his Wagner troops, and then the Russian forces came in and occupied it. and they've been trying to take it back after having lost it. So they're just trying to flank around it, but they're not making a lot of progress. You know, this is something that's happening rather slowly. So, you know, they're really going to be able to get through and make it count. Now, this is a kind of a, you know, biological warfare is considered to be a weapon of mass destruction. And in Moscow, and it says bizarrely, it's really bizarre. Moscow bizarrely claims U.S. plans to drop mosquitoes and malaria on the Russian troops. Well, malaria probably isn't something that's very prevalent in Ukraine. So if they have a big breakout in it, you might have to suspect that maybe he's into something here. Maybe he's right. I don't know, guys. What do y'all think? Do you think that this is a real risk? Hey, Raleigh Herrera, how you doing? So, New York Prepper, George Coggins. We'll talk to y'all more in a minute here. All right, guys. So Russia actually tried to assassinate one of their people that turned, and one of their intelligence guys, and turned to become a CIA asset. But they tried to assassinate him here on U.S. soil. So this really begs a lot. That's really brazen of them to try to take out one of their guys that's over here. You know, they've done this kind of stuff in Europe a lot, but the guy is Alexander, how do you say it? Padiev, I don't know how you say that. If I heard it, I could say it. Anyway, guys, so wasted so much money. Yeah, we're throwing a lot of money. China and Cuba. Yeah, guys. Oh, no more Havana cigars. Yeah, well, that's why Havatapma used to be so big. Anyway, the United States does not believe that the Russian's president really wants peace, is what they're saying, because his actions speak louder than his words, because he's still attacking missiles into Ukraine. Such strikes that he may be talking peace, but the Western intelligence people don't believe that that's the case. Now, I'm going to do another video in the near future talking about 6 ways this war could go. And this is, you know, one of those ways, but it doesn't look too likely, at least in the near term. Hey, Patrick, how you doing? So, anyway, guys, I'm going to be through these articles here in just a little bit. We'll probably be short here tonight. But look, Russia's got two new nuclear submarines coming online by the end of this year. You know, they just put in operation their Sarmat 28 Satan II missile, which is the biggest actually a lot bigger than any intercontinental ballistic missile we have. Now, actually, North Korea claims to have the biggest one now. So, you know, this is a very deadly system, guys. These weapons are putting in. That would be against the Geneva Convention. You know, I think they're beginning to not care so much about the Geneva Convention right now. So, yeah, in war, a lot of things go sideways. Now, this is something that Lee Wilbarger, you know, KLW World News has been claiming for a long time here, is that Russia actually mined the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. As I don't know, if they did, that's going to be a huge problem. But there's also talk that they may have mined the dike on the cooling pond. And it's also said they've been taking water from the cooling pond. So there's a lot of claims and counterclaims, and there's propaganda going both ways in this war. Very heavy propaganda. Putin sees himself as a holy avenger against degenerate countries. I say he's just nuts. Well, he does put that out there. Now, does he do that for propaganda, or is he real with that? Now, I got people in here that thinks he's sincere with that, and people that support him for that reason. But on the other hand, I'll submit it's a strategic thing. He's doing what Catherine the Great and Peter the Great did, trying to choke off the access points that invaders could come into his country that have been invaded so many times. But that means, if that's true, he can't stop with Ukraine. It means he's got to go a little bit further to get to those gaps, like around the Carpathian Mountains and places like that, to seal them where nobody can come in, which means he's got to take on into Moldova and just a little past Moldova, and take the Baltics and go a little bit into Poland. And of course, that's a war with NATO. So will he go that far? I don't know, guys. Time will tell. But that's the scary thing. If that's really his philosophy, he pretty much actually said that earlier in the year, or actually last year, I guess now. No, it was earlier this year. I don't know. It's all run together. But he had that Peter the Great ceremony where he actually admitted that. So don't tell me that's not the case, because that's what all the Russian strategists have always tried to do, and he actually admitted it. So anyway, now we're changing topics, guys. So Biden, you know, he's done this before. I think the other time he cited F-15s. This time he said F-16s. Like, you Second Amendment supporters, you say you want the right to bear nugs so that you can defend yourselves from the government. So you say, well, you need F-16s to battle the government. That's what Biden said. Well, did the Afghans that run us out of Afghanistan need F-16s to do it? We got slapped like a scalded dog with its tail between its legs. We ran out of Afghanistan as hard as we could and left behind billions of dollars worth of equipment. And did they need F-16s for that? No. All right, Biden. So I think in asymmetric and guerrilla type operations, this argument is specious. It has no bearing. So, but anyway, he says a lot. Oh, yeah, God save the Queen, right? Hey, now actually CNN came out and fact checked against Biden and for our 2A rights. This is a huge turn of the leaf over in CNN. I was told that CNN got bought by a conservative owner. And so maybe some of that's beginning to show through now. Because Biden, he made these claims that the stabilizer braces turn a pistol into a gun. Which it already is, right? And he also says that the stabilizer braces increase the caliber or the bullet. So you put a stabilizer brace on, now you can shoot, bigger caliber, bigger bullet. And he claimed a lot of stuff. Well, God save the Queen, right? And you know what? CNN actually busted him. Fact check, they actually busted him. Wow, it's the first time I've seen a fact check on the right side of the spectrum, especially coming from CNN. Wow. So that is it. Biden's claim is false. Biden's claim is false. And this is coming to us from what? CNN politics? Wow. The world's turned upside down. Fox is going to the left and CNN's going to the right. Is that what's happening? Y'all tell me. What did Jason say? Let's scroll back up. We should have left Afghanistan to bed. Yeah, we should have got out, but we shouldn't have run scalded and left all our stuff over there, all the goodies, especially our night vision goggles, which you know that the CCP got them and has reversed engineer them and putting the use of ones we got, because we always owned the night before. Now we've gave the night away. It was on our tactical edges in combat, was having all that good night vision equipment. So we just kind of blew that. Which begs this question right here. Is the U.S. military trying to lose wars? And this article talks about how woke we're going. Well, I got another angle on that, a couple angles. It may take me 2 videos to cover it all. But I'm going to talk about this more in the future right here. Is the U.S. trying to lose wars? Well, I think that may be the case. Sad to say, guys, sad to say. But never fear. We've just, wow, what is this? We just went in 2 weeks over $500 billion in debt. That's $572 billion in 2 weeks. Wow. But we're throwing a lot of money overseas. Oh, yeah, we accidentally discovered we sent $6 billion over there we didn't account for. You know where, right, guys? 762. How you doing? Good morning to you. So let's take a quick look at weather. There was a X1 class solar flare that kicked out. They believe it's going to cause a G1 level geomagnetic storm. It can cause radio interference. We don't expect anything big and too troublesome out up, but there's a lot of sunspots up here on the sun. We're coming into the solar maximum and the sun is cranking. And we have seen major solar flares kicked out on the other side, major CMEs. Let's hope they stay on the far side and not on our side, but it's the roll of the dice. How long is it going to take for one to come along that's not so nice? Maybe put out our lights. That ain't going to be fun. The sun can take us out, guys, and that is the sad thing about it. And we got to get our grid hardened, and we just don't seem to be doing what we need to do. All right, some pretty pictures there. Asteroids, nothing nothing to shock us coming ahead of us here, guys. You always see reports in the papers. Oh, there's this thing's going to whiz by us, but none of them too close. You know, we just passed the 20th. There's the 25th. That thing is 3.1 liter distances away, and only 11 meters. So don't worry about it, guys. Nothing to be scared about that we know of. There's always that, and we don't know though, right? But I showed a little bit of this in my other video, guys. This is the cartels down here. Oh, well, we don't just say commercial. Shoot, what the heck with that? Bang! I want to show you that video, but it had to pop up with a commercial. Anything for Ted Nugent for president. There you go. Ridgeback, I bet they do it by EMP and blame the sun. They might. See, what I always thought they might do is use an EMP when the sun's about to fire something off or when we're expecting. I think that solar storm's supposed to get here on the 23rd. So I give them some cover. If we're getting a little solar storm, and then they hit us, and people, oh, well, this storm was bigger than we thought. That might be it. I mean, it's going to be hard to trace. Jesse Mills, yeah. I think you're right there. It looks like we are being disarmed by sending everything one way when we might have to fight on the other side, if you know what I mean. And so are we ready for it? The answer is no. You're not ready to fight cartels. No, not really. Not really. And, you know, those cartels are closely coupled to China because China is supplying them with fentanyl. So they're making a lot of money selling that poison here to the United States, and it's taking out a lot of Americans. And supposedly the recent immigration surge, that's going to go up quite a bit. And they claim there's all these, they're putting it in these vapes. It's got like fruit flavored vapes. It's fentanyl. It'll put your lights out. I mean, guys, this is nuts. I mean, tell me we're not already in war with China. Tell me that it's been economic war and war by many other means. It's what they like to fight using the Sun Tzu type methodologies, but it may go ballistic, might even go nuclear. Let's hope not, guys. We need to take control of things. Keith in Arizona, as long as there's demand for a product, there will always be a cartels. That's why we need to seal the border. But somebody don't want to seal the border. They want to take your freedom to bear nugs, but the fentanyl, which takes far more people out, that's fine. We'll let that come in. Yeah, I don't know. Opium wars in reverse. Patrick, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. You are on top of it. That is the case. Wow. Let me see check out a few of the other comments here. Can't read everything, but I'll check a few of them out, guys. I may lose. I'm surprised my internet hadn't dropped out already. It probably will in a little bit. It's dropped out so many times. Giovanna, morning to you. Seaweed, morning. Granny, New Days. Timothy Bibb. Pipe, Pumpy, Pite, whatever you say that. John B, Nick, of course, CM3, and thank you for the super chat, CM3. Deborah Terry. Anybody new in here from Canadian Prepper? Nick Smokes, God save the Queen, man. Yeah, ain't nobody telling me she's already passed away. Anybody tell Joe B that Charles is the king now? Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Don't tell him nothing. Yeah. So, you know, think about this. Somebody says that, you know, you put a shoulder brace on something, it changes the caliber. And yet he is the man who dictate to us what our rights should be vis-a-vis such things. He's such a paradigm of wisdom. He's almost as smart as Greta. Yeah, guys. New York, ex-New York City prepper. How you doing, buddy? Paris, you can always be ready. Exactly, Granny. All right, let's see. James Dude, George, okay. LK, the war machine became a food machine. Yeah, they're all intertwined, as long as you eat the bugs, right? Freedom Seeds, there you go. Yeah, that's what's been claimed there. Cyber Cheese 93 claimed that they got more stuff mined. Scooby Snacks, how you doing from down under? Wreck Toes, that's a funny name, Wreck Toes. A lot of people got Wreck Toes. Just because we're awful doesn't make him a saint. Just hey, Wreck Toes, where you at? All right, George Scranton. Henry Deere, hey to you too. Nothing shows a man's character more than what he laughs at. Okay. Shoot, I can't scroll. It's not scrolling right. This thing is wanting me to do other actions. There we go. Let's see. Timothy Bibb, exactly, Mr. Greg. Thank you for that. I think I just jumped to the bottom here. Scooby Snack says ADV China is good for side info. All right. I would rather wipe out the cartels in Mexico than fight a war in Europe. There you go. We don't need what business do we have in Europe? Really and truly. I mean, y'all tell me. Somebody explain it to me, please, from Ontario, Canada. Canadian Prepper. Oh, you came to us from Canadian Prepper? Thank you for joining us. Yes, MC M Bureau. I don't know if I'm saying that right. All right, guys. Speaking of which, it's a great segue because when I was talking to Canadian Prepper, I was, hey man, I buy stuff from you. And I do. I buy from him. He's got quite a large prepper store, guys. So I went in and bought stuff. I bought from this silk you saw. You've probably seen him advertise these things. He says, Greg, I got a better one than that to send to you. So he sent me. Hey, Prepper's a nice guy. If you've not checked his channel out, go there. He is the most watched channel of all the channels you guys watch. So most of you are there. Maybe some of you aren't. He sent me this one. Now, I like this one because this one is subdued. This is a nice one to carry out with you in the field because it won't shine unless you took the glint light off of it. Now, it don't shine as much as, say, this one does. Isn't that a big saw? And it's a little more sturdy than that one. So, yeah, watch out, guys. I'm like Edward Scissorhands. The dual saws. Yeah, woo, woo, woo. Anyway, they're saws, YouTube. I'm not showing weapons. No weapon here. They're just saws for cutting wood. And what are these good for? Well, if you're building your prepper cabin, you cut the ends of all the little logs that you're building with off straight. And so you're saving wood, saving time. It makes for a neater build, and you won't jab yourself if you bump into your cabin in the midst of the night while you're going out to do your business or going out to fetch some wood or whatever. You might see me outside at night. Now I've got this nice little carrying case, and I had bought previously from him this flint and steel kit here, and he actually sent me this fire tender to go with it. And on top of that, he sent me a bunch of this free stuff he's got. He sent me all this stuff free. It's because he liked our interview. He's a good guy. I got several more of these. He sent me a box full of all this stuff. And that's good stuff. So I'm giving a big plug to Canadian Prepper. I might have to do this on one of my regular videos, not just a live session. So if you're from Canadian Prepper's channel, go in and chat and tell him that I gave him a shout because he gave me another one tonight. I appreciate that. And I got this stuff here. This is like a towel in here. I think these also form towelettes. I think these are the tablets you put water on. So I think this is his toilet paper tablets. I mean, guys, all you got to do is eat one of these. You never have to wipe again. Do not eat one. Do not eat them. I think that's the ones that makes. I have to check into. I got to check my packing list. I think that's what these little white tablets are. I think they're the ones that make a tissue when you get them wet. I know this one will make a towel. So I'll have to say, he did a funny comic video about toilet paper tablets one time. Yeah, Nate is cool. He is cool. Definitely that. I like him. And he's a real nice guy when you talk to him. Real nice guy. No doubt about it. And he does really good analysis. Laurie Smith, hello from Alberta, Canada. Canadian Prepper shout out. Note has directed his peeps to your channel. Yeah, well, I'm giving him a return shout out here and tell him I did so in a comment on one of his videos. I like to burn chaga fungus. I don't have chaga growing around here. It grows. We don't have the kind of tree around here that grows the chaga. So yeah, it's good for you. People use it for coffee and things like that. But yeah, I don't have no chaga. Anyway, guys, check out my. But you need to be planting stuff. Talking about plants. Hi, Greg from Panhandle, Texas. Hi there, Ivan. You do need to make sure you're growing a garden, guys. Check out my links to True Leaf Market that I post in some of my videos, and Eden Brothers for seeds, gardening supplies, and also my links to Lehman Brothers for the just tools for prepping. I mean, prepping and homesteading. Well, guys, tell us where you're from. I saw you on Canadian Prepper. Well, thank you, Seaweed. Appreciate that. All right, guys, roll it. Tell me where you're from, and we're going to go here tonight. I got to run. My eyeballs are turning yellow. We got to run here. So I might try to squeeze in another video for in the morning. If not, we may let no birch in this area. No, we don't have birch in this area. I'm too far south. It don't grow here. All righty. So tell us where you're from, everybody. Give us a real quick roll. Where you're from. Everybody, when you go to bed tonight, say a prayer say some prayers for New Days, because she needs some surgery. Can't prepare for school. He just gave you a shout. Yeah, he did. I returned the favor for him. East Tennessee, Kingsport, Scranton, Pennsylvania. Hey, Scooby Snacks and down under West Central Arkansas. Houston. Now I got a daughter up in Spring, Texas. I used to live in Spring Lake in North Carolina next to Fort Bragg. Is what I always still will call it. Nevada. All righty, the jungle, baby. Welcome to the jungle. There you go. Windsor, Ontario, Canada. All right. East of Show Low. How far east of Show Low? My place is east of Show Low there. 6,800 feet off grid. Keith, I really wonder how close you. I'm north of the Concho Road. Casey Jones, Tulsa, Oklahoma. United Kingdom, Tangy Vivid. All right. New Hampshire. Got any natural ways to keep away wolf spiders? Hey, they eat bugs. I like wolf spiders. Come on. Oh, well, we got Fort Drum and Willow, Alaska. Fort Gritty, the Coal Regions Test Center. I almost went to Fort Drum. They were thinking about sending it to Fort Drum. They shut down Fort Gritty and then they reopened it. But the Coal Regions Test Center still operates and has always operated out of Fort Gritty. That was my old unit. I was in the Coal Regions Test Center when I was up in Alaska. Puerto Rico. All righty. Oh, I'm in Tony, Alabama. That's where I'm at right now. I may spend some time in Florida and my place out in Arizona. We'll see. Russell Cave Monument. Hey, James, that's cool. That'd be a nice looking cabin in the video thumbnail. Yeah, I built that. And it's back here. All right, New Days. I know someone blocked. What? She got her messages blocked? Where at? Maybe it's because sometimes some channels, if you post a link, they'll block you. Now, what she does, all you mods need to take her example and post links from that. Would really help, guys. And she posts a lot of my links in here and also on other channels too. What? New Days Ranch disappeared? Are you kidding me? Where's she at? Oh, there it is. What the heck? Fix that. What happened? Thank y'all for pointing that out to me. I didn't see that. I don't know what happened. Might have been when I was just scrolling back and forth on the touch screen. Sometimes weird stuff happens. Greg, give another ranch to New Day. Yeah, I just did it. Yeah, she's like my best mod. She posts a ton of stuff for me. All right, maybe that's why I'm not been getting a lot of posting here. Guys, we're about to go. Eventually moving South Kentucky. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. We'll make it a short video tonight, short night here. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you're not subscribed, bang that notification bell and click all. And also go over and check out my Galactic Greg's channel and my community page. I posted a video I did just about an hour or two ago. And that video was on this Ocean Gate Titan submersible. What a mess. What a mess. That should never happen. Anyway, Clayby, I've jumped and I bought a what? Okay. Do you like Blue Lady? I haven't bought any. I don't know. Anyway, thank y'all for watching.